Hey guys, this is Tola again. Today I'm gonna be analyzing the Ger30 from the monthly time frame up until the H4 time frame, basically just to bring about everything and show you guys how to analyze like a pro trader, because I feel like that's the one important thing that you guys need to learn. Analyzing like somebody who knows the market in and out. Whenever like you touch your charts, you know what you do and how to react to the market. So basically, I'm just gonna be using my basic knowledge of how I've learned about the charts. As I've stated in my book, for those who actually have my book, that I come from a very, very, very long journey. For me, this was not something that I've taught myself in a period of a month or on a period of a year or 2 years, but then it took me a lot of years to actually acquire this kind of knowledge. So basically, this kind of knowledge is actually what is actually one of the best knowledges that one can have in this industry. Basically, not just any metric actually has this kind of knowledge, but then this is the knowledge that I actually have acquired on my own without a mentor. So let's get on to it. So guys, from the Gemini monthly time frame, what you can be able to see. Okay, let me just check that there so that it's close to my charts. So from the monthly time frame, what you can be able to see, it is that the market actually had created the highest point, of which it was that. That was one of the highest resistance that we ever had. And then on its way coming down, it had actually many concussions, of which basically it was creating what? It was creating a support. So I have that support there. Okay. So from this, and also I had spoken about, I don't know, many months back, I think it was last year, I spoke about this that we might see, because if you remember very well, after breaking a resistance, the market actually has to come back and retest. The market broke a resistance here, but then never came back to retest. So this retest here, it was necessary before the market can actually push to the upside. But then that's not necessary anymore. Let's go on to charts. So basically, if you can look at this, let me just decrease the color of that so that you can be able to see the candles within the inside. So basically, if you can look at that from last month's candle, you can be able to see that we have some candle filling that needs to happen there. And also this month's candle didn't actually go to the upside and fill up that candle. So one person can ask me what's going to happen to this. I'm not sure. I'm joking. Basically, what I had spoken about and also that I had spoken about was that this different candle here that we had there, of which it was the only different candle amongst this bullish move. So basically, the market actually needs to come back to this area there to find some momentum before it can push to the upside. So right now, in this case, we're gonna go to the weekly time frame. Okay, going into the weekly time frame, let me just shift this a bit up. Okay. Okay, basically from the weekly time frame, what you can be able to see, it becomes very clear. You guys can see the candle filling that needs to happen. Okay, guys, and then if you can look at it, one person asked me, where is this coming? Is it coming back to create a double bottom or what? I'm not sure. That's what we're about to find out. Just be patient and find out on your own. So basically, also in the highest point, we also had some candle filling that needs to happen. Basically, these were on the same level. So candle filling is what's a candle filling actually? Candle filling, it's when a candle, let me say a bearish candle or a bullish candle. Actually, let me just make an example of the bullish candle, because here the candle filling, it's actually a bullish candle. Let me say the candle actually opens down there. It goes to the upside, right? It goes to the upside and then it comes back down. Comes back down. And then we have a small body, bullish body. Sort of a pin bar, but then in this case, a bullish candle pin bar, because the candle B can it's small. I don't know. Okay, let me just make an example with this just to be clear. So basically, let me say this is a candle, right? Let me say that's a candle. And then from that candle, what we can be able to see it is that before it came back down and decreased, that bullish candle, it first went to the upside and then it came back down and it closed with the small body. The direction of the body is the same one as the one it was going in. So basically, it's a bullish candle, but then with a small body, but then a long wick. So basically, what happens is that after something like this, just know that the market actually will usually go back and fill up that candle before you can see the downward move or just a continuation to the upside. So basically, something like that. And also, if you can look at this, we have some, what is it? PCP. What's a PCP? I've spoken about it so many times, even on the previous videos, that a PCP, it's when a candle or it's when a market, it's when a direction just like this one. It goes to the upside, and then it comes back down. It comes back down and then it comes back down. And then from that candle, what you can be able to see is that before it came back down and decreased, that bullish candle, it first went to the upside and then it came back down and it closed with the small body. The PCP stands for price continuation pattern. Basically, it is made up of inside bars, two or three inside bars. In this case, we have two inside bars, a bearish candle and a bullish candle. So basically, after something like this, the market is on a bullish move. Basically, after something like this, just know that the market still needs to continue going to the upside. That's one of the tricks that you should learn. Okay, as much as I've learned it myself. So basically, also, if I can look at this is the remember this is the weekly time frame. If you can look at this here, what do I have here? Okay, what do I have there? Yeah, I have something of which, if you can look at it, you can be able to see that it was acting as a resistance there. It came back to act as a support 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back, and then the market pushed to the upside. Basically, now, if you can look at this, also on the weekly time frame, also have some candle filling that actually needs to happen. Let me just remove this. You know what? Let me just remove this PCP thing. As long as you've got it, and then I'm good, because it's gonna confuse us a bit more. So if you can look at this, we have a candle filling that needs to happen, and also we have a candle filling that actually needs to happen just below this, just slightly below there, just slightly below there. Okay, let me just continue. Let me just put this. Okay, basically, so now since the market's coming back down, you can be able to tell that coming down to lap the candle filling, then possibly it can shoot to the upside. Let's go to the daily. To the daily, what I was seeing, we're seeing a market that has actually created a quite support area there, a quite support area there. Okay, we have a market that has actually created a support area there. So basically, from whatever that we have here, let me just remove this. Let me use phone. And also, if now I have to track this down there, you can be able to see this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder. So now we're just retesting there and find some momentum before we continue to the upside. But then the point that I'm actually interested in is this. So basically, if you can look at this, you can be able to tell that the market needs to what? Actually needs to come back there to find some momentum before continuation. So yesterday I'd given, actually 2 days back on Monday, I'd given a signal of a sell on this. And how did I come about that? Because of this. I had a quite nice head and shoulder there on daily time frame that was gonna indicate that the market is to come back and flip that weekly candle. The weekly candle that I'm talking about is this. The market actually has come back and flip that week candle and also touch the support before continuation. Remember about this whenever you're here. Whenever the market is here, remember about this. This was in one of the strongest points of the market where like it can push the market to new heights. So basically, once the market gets here and flips that candle, be able to take the buy, because we have the first reason. The market is on a support on a daily time frame, right? On a weekly time frame, we have that strong key level there. That's number two. Number three, also have that PCP there. So whenever the market actually comes back and touches there, just be sure to take the buy. Where do you take the buy to? We take the buy. The first area that we're going to take the buy to, it is this, to fill up the weekly candle. Once the market actually breaks above and retests, then we're going to be taking another buy to the top there. Okay, let's go to the daily and continue. So basically, this was this, as we took the short because of what? We took the short because of that head and shoulder there. Okay, fine. So basically, once the market actually gets to this area, we'll be taking our our take profits on the sell that we have, and then we'll be monitoring the market and be ready to take the buy. And also another thing, because I like to use my Fibonacci's, another thing, if I track my Fibonacci to there from the way it started to the highest point. Okay, does it make sense? Let me just put it somewhere there. So if you can look at this, you see that we have the 0.32 there on that zone there. That's whatever that I was talking about. So that's number what? That's number four. One of the reasons why you have to buy. So when the market gets here, it's a support. It's on the 0.32 on the weekly time frame. Just have to take your buy with a good risk to reward ratio, and then just pull those monies, go into the upside. So I'm just gonna put my trend lines just to confirm everything. Then once confirmed, we can be able to do it. We can be able to continue. Another reason why we took the short was because of this trend line. You see that the market actually broke above it, but then since it was on a resistant, it failed to continue pushing to the upside. So hence it came back down, and the market went back to that trend line. Basically, this is a head and shoulder, right, left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder. So once it turns here, that's when we took the short. So we're gonna move our trend line a bit up. Just gonna move our trend line a bit up and take it there. So this is our new trend line. Since we have this new trend line, once the market actually breaks above this, and it breaks above this resistant area and comes back, then we're gonna be looking to what? To take our buy entries. But then the first buy is gonna be down here up until there. Then if it breaks and comes back to resist, then we're gonna be taking the second buy. Okay, let's go to there. Let's go to H4. Okay, on H4 everything is so smooth, so nice. So on H4, so basically if you miss the sell here, you can take the sell once the market actually breaks below this area, and then just seek your take profit somewhere around there. Okay, so now that's where I'm going to introduce my trend lines. I'm going to introduce my trend lines. And then also remember, if the market actually breaks below this area, that means the market will be ready to come back down there. Only if it breaks there, only if it breaks below this. But I don't think it will break, so continue. So if now I have to introduce a trend line, just like most people do, I would actually, okay, the trend line that I'm about to introduce has already been broken. The trend line that I was going to introduce was this, but then it has already been broken. So here we don't have any trend lines that we have to deal with from the bottom. We just have to deal with support and resistance, and then that's all we have it. Everything is sorted. Okay. Yeah. So this is basically it. Also, if now I have to put a key level there, I was going to put my key level there. By the H4 reason being of this key level, you see the market, this was a support there, came back as a resisting, supporting. So basically you just have to be aware of these moves. Okay. And also if you can look onto H4, we also have some candle filling that needs to happen there. So basically once the market gets here, it's going to push up there. First take profit, second take profit. So basically what you can be able to do in this case, once it gets here, you buy, first take profit, second take profit, then you're good to go. Okay guys, this was Ger30 team. Just going to continue and bring you guys the best analysis.